All right, welcome to Life Extension Live. I'm Dr. Mike, and that is
Dr. Crystal.
Today we're going to be talking about GABA. Ever hear of GABA?
GABA.
GABA. It's a really, really cool neurotransmitter in your body. We're going to talk about it today. You want to give them the full name right now?
Sure. Gamma-aminobutyric acid.
We're just going to call it GABA. Because that's how everybody knows
Right.
about it anyway, so it's fine. On today's show, we're going to be talking about what is GABA, how it impacts your health. It's like, why are we even talking about it? And the best ways to add it to your routine. So again, GABA, it's a neurotransmitter, but it's a, I guess they call it an amino acid neurotransmitter,
Yes.
right? And here's the thing, and this is where we may have to explain it a little bit, right? It's an inhibitory neurotransmitter. Right, should we explain what that kind of means?
I think we need to,
Yeah.
so that you all will know why we're so excited about
It's just, okay, think of it this way. There's a lot of analogies you could use. I mean, you could use the on-off switch, right? Your brain sometimes needs to be on. The lights need to be, those nerves need to be firing. You got to be doing something. You're driving, you're thinking, you're da-da-da-da-da. But then there's times when they need to come off. They need to calm down. They need to relax a little bit.
Yes.
That's what inhibitory neurotransmitters do. They're not inhibiting your brain from functioning.
Right.
They're actually just calming it down from being so active all the time.
Yeah, kind of slowing down the transmission of the nerve activity.
Yeah.
Of those signals.
It's not, and it's common to see this in human physiology. Even in the immune system, there are inhibitory type immune cells that regulate and calm down the immune. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Your brain needs to calm down at times. When you're asleep, you don't want your brain, and some people still have, that's why they have insomnia, but your brain's firing. No, the lights, you got to dim those lights.
Very, very true.
Yeah, that's what we mean by inhibitory neurotransmitter. And by doing that, by having good control like that, you ultimately are preserving brain function.
And brain cells.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, keeping them, because if they're too excited, they start to get tired and wither.
That's right. Yes.
Right.
So there's a balance. Obviously, there's a time for excitation in the brain. I always think of it as the opposite of the fight or flight response, where things are going, epinephrine, it's just go, and then this is kind of helping us to kind of calm down, rest, digest, and reset.
That was me fighting a bear, by the way.
So that's what we mean by it's the body's primary inhibitory neurotransmitter.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll hear it referred to as non-essential. It simply means the body makes it.
Right.
Yeah,
yes.
that's all.
It's non-essential. Well, it's a non-essential amino acid in multiple ways. The body makes it. It is not needed for protein synthesis.
Right.
Although it's made from like glutamine, which is involved in protein synthesis, but it's kind of an amino acid byproduct that helps our brain.
Another way, if you go to your favorite nutrition center, and you go to the aisle for mood and calmness and stuff, that's where you'll find GABA.
That's true. Also, it manages inflammation. I found a couple of other fun facts. Also supports gut motility.
Gut motility, right.
So, yes, it's beneficial. We need it. We make it. But there are times, especially the day and age that we live in, that we could use a little more of this calming neurotransmitter. It's a 24-hour information cycle now. It never ends, right? Well, not just information, 24
Just
hour,
everything.
Just the expectation that you just are always on.
Notifications from your phones. Oh gosh, I turn those off. I can't deal with that anymore.
But I think it's not just that. It's the stress. It's the high stress world that we live in, that I always say you can't control the stressors, but you can control how you respond to the stressors. And GABA can help you to respond a little bit better, so you're not already on 10 and then something just sends you at 100. It
Yeah.
can you'll start off at a level 3 and then go to a level 5 or 6.
Yeah. You're not going to go straight up, right? Which happens. So, to give you an idea of how powerful GABA can be, benzodiazepines. These are the drugs that people take for stress and calming down. Guess what they do? They activate GABA.
Yes.
So GABA is a powerful.
And let's give them most people know Xanax.
Well, that's the most common. Valium
Yeah,
is
just so Valium, Xanax, just to put some names too, because you said benzodiazepines, and I don't know if you all know what.
My clinical background, I can't help it. Yeah. So even those powerful drugs are working through GABA. So GABA can be your friend. GABA, interesting, even can affect brain waves.
Yes.
I love that. Okay, so you know how when you do like an EKG of the heart, and you're doing the rhythm of the heart, right?
Right.
You could do it for the brain too. It's just electrical, right? So you can do an ECG, an encephalogram, and you can look at different waves, and those waves can, depending on the wave, can tell the person reading it whether you're excited, whether you're calm, whether you're sleepy, whether you're nervous, all this kind of stuff.
So in radiology, when would you do that?
Well, that was more in the neurology side of things.
Okay.
We didn't interpret brain. We would if there were an issue with the waves, then we would take it and do like an MRI of the brain, and that's where I came in.
Okay, all right.
But I think we even have a quick little diagram of the different brain waves. Drops it if you want to throw that up, and you can see that there are beta waves, there's gamma waves, alpha waves. Well, alpha waves, those are the calming ones. Those are the ones you want when it's time to bring it down.
Yeah.
That's what GABA does. It increases alpha waves.
All right.
Isn't that cool?
So that's a segue into some of the nutritional support. So just put a pin in alpha waves.
Yeah. So this has been measured, right? We have a study here, 13 people, individuals before, immediately after 30 minutes. Wait, let me start over on this. That was a little. Basically, these are 13 people, right? That before and immediately and 30 to 60 minutes after, they did water and GABA. They did water or GABA or L-theanine, and the GABA one was the one that's shown to increase those alpha waves.
Yes, and that was so they measured those brain waves.
That was hard to get out. Basically, it's proof GABA is affecting alpha waves.
Yeah, so basically they gave the intervention and they measured those brain waves before the intervention, immediately after that intervention, and 30 and 60 minutes after that intervention.
Dr. Crystal cleared it up. Thank you. And so again, why are we talking about this? It's important to have that balance between on and dimming, right?
Yeah.
Your brain, as a matter of fact, there are theories, Dr. Crystal. This is a little bit of a tangent, but
let's hear the theories. I like it.
It's not a big tangent. I'll be quick. Alzheimer's. There's a theory out there that Alzheimer's partly is too much excitatory neurotransmitters that are damaging the brain, and there's not enough of the inhibitory ones like GABA to counter. So GABA has been studied and is being studied in Alzheimer's.
Well, that was a good tangent,
That was
Dr.
a nice
Mike.
little tangent,
Keep 'em coming.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so what is our best source of GABA, Dr. Crystal?
Well, our own bodies. We make it. And so I don't see this here, but GABA is made within us. So what I would say to this, and I have preached this from the rooftop to so many people, is you need to get enough protein.
Boosh!
So simple for all of your brain chemicals, but specifically for GABA. I mentioned earlier, glutamine is kind of that main source. That glutamine turns to glutamate, then GABA. So you need protein because it's a byproduct of amino acids. I see vegans, people who are restricting their diets, they tend to have mood issues.
Yeah. And when you say protein, it doesn't have to be animal.
No.
Yeah, plant-based.
Yes.
Right? Because I think a lot of people, when they hear protein, what do they think?
Yeah.
Steak.
So how can you
make
it? So that's the best source. Protein, B vitamins, specifically B6 is involved. in the process of GABA formation. So we could start there.
Now, I have a question for you. You know, Dr. Christo has a doctorate in clinical nutrition. So we have a list of foods here.
Okay.
Now, are these foods, how are they being helpful here? I don't imagine they contain GABA. They're doing something to help boost GABA, right?
Well, you know, Dr.
Maybe.
Mike, I don't know.
Oh, no! I asked it.
I do not know how these foods increase GABA, and I'm not going to postulate on this show.
We'll come up with the answer and we can post it.
Yes, we
post the
can.
answer. But tomatoes, red yeast rice, eggplant. Oh, I haven't had eggplant in a long time. That sounds so good.
Unpolished rice.
Unpolished rice, chocolate, tea, particularly white tea. So there's some food sources.
Yeah, so now I'll tell you this. We do know that many amino acids are produced in the gut. I'm not seeing a lot of high fiber or prebiotics here, so yeah, I'm not quite sure what's happening.
What's happening? Okay. Now, there are precursors to GABA that you can also use. Ashwagandha, we've talked about ashwagandha a lot. That's the adaptogenic herb that can help as a precursor to production of GABA. Lactic acid bacteria.
Oh, that's right.
That goes back to the gut.
Yes,
Yeah, that goes back to the gut. Lemon balm. Lemon balm, I love it. Lemon balm is very calming.
Yeah.
And it turns out what it does is it degrades the enzyme that breaks down GABA, so the GABA is lasting longer. And that's something that you need to know, too, about inhibitory neurotransmitters. They don't last long. The brain doesn't like too much inhibition, right?
Yeah.
So GABA gets in there, it does its job, and it's degraded quickly. You don't want these inhibitory things just saturating the brain. That would not be good.
Well, it's a balance.
Yeah, it's a balance. So, anything that can help just support it a little bit longer.
Yes.
And that's what lemon balm's doing. It's not like, letting it live forever.
Yes.
It's still going to be broken down. It's just a little slower of a process.
Yes, and then hinokiol is one that I love, and magnolol from the magnolia tree bark. Enhances GABA receptor activity. This is one, and lemon balm, just to bring it home. These are two that I take at night.
Look at that.
I take them at night before I go to bed.
Wait, say it again. Which ones?
So lemon balm,
Yeah.
because I'm looking, and it's a combination
What's the other one?
that I take, and hinokiol in particular from the magnolia tree bark. Both of those I take, and you know what? I probably don't even take them the right way, but I take them right before my head hits the pillow.
I think they're supposed to do these about 30
like
minutes
30
before.
minutes
Yeah.
before.
I do. On that list, I do lemon balm. I do ashwagandha.
I was going to say you.
I have ashwagandha.
Do ashwagandha.
I have theanine, which is green tea, really good calming as well. But anyways, out of that list, those are the two I do.
How about that?
Yeah. All right, there you go. See, we do it. We're supporting GABA. Very important.
Oh yes, I support it day and night.
So a lot of people have the question then, what's the difference between GABA and melatonin?
Oh.
That's a good question. Melatonin is not classified as an inhibitory neurotransmitter.
No.
GABA is. So right there is a big difference. Even though both of them can kind of calm you, get you ready for sleep. And then also melatonin is going to affect those stages of sleep in a much more direct way than GABA. GABA may affect the stages simply because of the calming effect.
Yeah, yes.
And getting you more into the alpha, getting you more into that ready place to sleep. But it's melatonin that's really going to walk you through those stages.
I'll tell you this, Dr. Mike. Two thoughts on that. First thought is I would never take melatonin during the day.
No.
Point blank, period.
Yeah, no.
And so when I think about, you remember I said I support GABA day and night. When I think about a stressful day, I support my GABA during the day. It doesn't make you sleepy. It can support kind of calm my brain, especially the night before we have to record a show like this, and I'm kind of thinking about all the research and prepping my outfits in my head and everything like that. It just helps to kind of slow down some of that activity to allow me to be calm enough to fall asleep, supporting those alpha brain waves. GABA also, it has been shown to support episodic stress. And again, I can use what we do as an example. We know, although this is a comfortable space for us. We've been doing this for almost 7 years now.
7 years.
But sometimes we go out and we lecture and we have to do these talks, and we're on the spot answering questions, and sometimes you can get a little,
it's hard.
It can be a little stressful, and GABA is very helpful when you know you are about to experience a stressor, like a known stressor.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what I like about GABA, and that is a big difference than melatonin that you know you are taking at night to help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
Yeah. You can, listen, I do my GABA supporting nutrients and melatonin at night together, and everything is fine.
Yeah.
No problem. So you can do that. If you want more information, you can go to lifeextension.com/GABA. GABA. There you go. Very simple. That is just going to give you more information about some of the stuff we've talked about, and just, again, much more detail.
Much more detail. And I'm sorry, one thing we didn't say is that you can take GABA just by itself, too. We talked about,
you can. There's GABA.
Food, yes, but you can, your body naturally makes it, but you can take it.
You can. Can I give my opinion on this?
Your opinion is always welcome.
I think the supplements that boost GABA are going to be better and more long-lasting. Because remember, inhibitory neurotransmitter activate these enzymes that are going to break them down quickly. So GABA by itself can work, it can be effective, but I don't think it's as long-lasting as ones that boost production.
But we do know it can work relatively quickly, and the way it's helping GABA is by stimulating the gut.
Yeah,
the gut-brain axis, so that your body can naturally produce that GABA. So,
lifeextension.com/GABA.
Yes,
that's where you can go. And when you're at Life Extension, hey, you might as well shop around and use the discount code
LE Live.
That's right. LE Live for 10% off $50 or more plus free shipping and handling. That's at lifeextension.com. Don't forget, we go live every Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern time. So wherever you watch us, like, share, ring the bell, all that stuff, so you know when we're about to go. And by the way, we're really excited to announce starting soon, we're going to have a weekly show called Real Wellness with me and her.
That's right.
That's not called Real Wellness with me and her. It's Real
Wellness with Dr. Mike and Dr. Crystal.
Me and her. So anyways, that's going to come soon. So watch out for that. I'm Dr. Mike. That's
Dr. Crystal.
Until next time.